I'm Jessica Ryan Keeney. I'm a family law attorney in California, as well as a municipal law attorney, and I am the Department of Child Support Services attorney for two small Northern California counties. Today I'm doing a guideline calculation, and I wanted to share with you some things that help me when I'm doing your guideline calculation. These things will also help your case manager and the rest of the DCSS staff. So you're going to be asked to do an income and expense declaration, which is also known as a Form FL-150. I can never remember the form numbers because if you mess up a form number, I'm lost. I have no clue what you're talking about. But if you slip up on the form name, I can figure out what you're talking about. So when you do the FL-150, the income and expense declaration, you're going to be asked to attach your last 2 months worth of pay stubs. Well, I would prefer to have 12 months worth of pay stubs, but sometimes that's cumbersome. So if you give me your last 2 months worth of pay stubs and the first pay stub of the current year, that will help me and my staff tremendously. Why? Because I like to plug in the year-to-date income into the guideline calculator. And to do that, I need to plug in the start date of the year-to-date period and the end date of the year-to-date period. The start date isn't always January 1st. And if I plug it in as January 1st and the start date is, say, December 15th, then I'm going to overcalculate your average monthly income. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it may not make a huge difference, but I want to start with good numbers. Now, if you started working this job after the first of the year, then I want the first pay stub that you received at that job. And of course, you need to supply pay stubs for all of the jobs you're working and all of your sources of income. So please, please, please give us 2 months worth of pay stubs and proof of income and the first pay stub of the year and or the first pay stub for the first pay period of a job that you started this year. Now, it gets a little bit difficult when we're looking at calculating your average monthly dental, vision, healthcare expenses because there's no place for us to plug the year-to-date totals for those into the guideline calculator. So we're going to have to use some math. And this is also where having that first pay stub or all 12 pay stubs will be helpful to us. But we can manage figuring out the healthcare information as well as your retirement expenses from just the last 2 months. We don't want us to overcalculate your average monthly income. In future videos, I hope to show you how to use the state's guideline calculator. You can go find it for free. All you have to do is Google California Department of Child Support Services Guideline Calculator or Child Support Calculator. You should be able to find that pretty easily in a Google search. That's what we at DCSS are using to do guideline calculations. And if you're using the same calculator, it will help you. Also, if you're going to be in a 4D child support courtroom, which is, you can just think of it as a DCSS courtroom, then you're going to have to use that guideline calculator. I look forward to seeing you in future videos.